Ambessa is actually not a 200 years design, but in reality one of the best designs Riot has done in recent memory. And yes, I know this might sound like a hot take, but let me explain why it's not. Oh yeah, by the way, do you like the green screen setup? I don't think any other League YouTuber has done this before. I might be the first one actually to do this. Ambessa is the newest League of Legends champion that will be released in a few weeks. I tested her out in LA last week for Riot's Arcane themed summit, and that was a super fun event, and I'm glad Riot sent me there yet again. When we tested her out, everybody already knew what people would think of her. Oh my god, another 200 years champion! Oh, what is Riot doing? How many dashes? Oh, she gets 1000 dashes and Blitzcrank W slows himself. Oh my god. So if you actually haven't seen Ambessa's abilities before, let me explain them real quick. She uses energy as her resource. Her passive basically makes it so she can dash after all abilities, kinda like Kalista passive but with abilities. Q is a two-part ability, cleave and a whip. W is a shield that deals more damage when you take damage. E is basically 2 stride breakers, and ultimate passively gives you lifesteal and armor pen, and the active yoinks the enemy ADC and blows him up. And on the surface, yes, she does look like another broken and extremely unbalanced 200 years champion. She especially looks like that in this clip I got a couple of days ago on stream that went kind of viral everywhere. And if you want to make this fun, let's play a drinking game. Take a shot every single time I dash in this clip. Ooh. Okay, low key, let's go. No, bro, let's go. I wanna see. Nope. Okay. 200 years against 200 years. And we have outscale. Let's go. I win. If you played the drinking game, yeah, you might be in the hospital right now. I'm sorry about that. If you kept count, I actually dashed 17 times in that clip, which is just insane when you think about it. And by the way, I want to thank all of you for reaching 80,000 subs on this channel. I was super scared to start making all these new kind of videos, but you guys seem to like them a lot. So hey guys, we keep on going, and maybe we hit 100,000 subs at the end of the year. Subscribe. So yes, on the surface, looking at that clip, she does look broken as shit. And oh boy did it start a wild conversation. Funniest part about this 200 years used to be mostly associated with Aphelios. Aphelios! We're at that point where Aphelios of all champs look simple. This 1v1 would have sent us this 1v1 would have sent a season 1 or 2 player into a coma. Meanwhile GPQ. I have no idea what the hell is even going on in this game anymore. Man, this game is so cooked. What is the point of making champions like these when anything older than 2020 can't compete anymore? Because their abilities pale in comparison to the absurdity that these new champs are. Can't wait to try and hit this with a Zoe. We are about to get a whole season of this matchup every game. Nasus gains 12%, 18% and 24% based on level lifesteal. Now that's a banger. Oh my god, 2 mobile champions fighting each other. Oh my god, 200 years versus 200 years. It's so broken. League of Legends is a game with a lot of champions. 169 to be exact after Ambessa's release. Nice. And because there are a lot of champions, it is getting harder and harder to come up with anything original. So Riot kinda has to cook a lot when it comes to champion design to come up with something original and unique. I know they technically don't have to do this, but are you going to play a new champion with a design like Ashe? I don't think so. A lot of new champions Riot has recently released have been quite simple though when you think about it. Aurora, Smolder, Nochu, Briar, Naafiri, Milio. These champions might have a lot of text in their abilities and kit, but they are pretty easy to pick up and play. Riot really hasn't made a high skill ceiling champion recently, or even flashy. K'Sante is pretty much the only high skill champion, but we don't count him anymore.
Wait, I want to see how much damage it does, just like...
Huh?
What? The f... What the fuck? What the fuck? 42% win rate. How the fuck do you even lose this game with this champion?
There haven't been any new niche, flashy Yasuo Riven champions recently. And I think about it's time we got something like Ambessa. What do I think her kit is balanced though? Isn't she completely bonkers because she can dash 100 billion times? No. She's probably the most fun, most balanced design we've seen in a while. And it's pretty much only because of this tiny little detail. She uses energy as a resource. That's right. Riot finally decided that, energy would be a cool resource mechanic on a new champion and not on just 5 champions that are specifically from Ionia that came out like 10 years ago. It's great because this now opens more opportunities for future champion releases that are not bound to mana, no mana or other resources that are not energy. I saw a lot of people comment under my clip that, oh man, why does she even need energy if she can dash so many times even with it? Well, it's because that actually allows her to be outplayed. Ambessa really wants to be in close contact with whoever she's fighting because the only way she can deal damage is by keeping her energy bar up. Without her energy, she has no dashes or abilities, which can be extremely hard to keep up, especially if the champion she's fighting has any kind of mobility. And she can only get that energy back with auto attacks. That's why in this clip, I just spam dashed like 15 billion times, and it's also because Ambessa wants long fights and she's extremely good against tanks as well because of her max HP Q damage. On top of that, her abilities really don't scale at all at any point of the game. The passive lifesteal and armor pen might look scary, but trust me, she really needs those stats since all her damage is pure AD and she only scales with bonus AD. And genuinely, the first time you play her, you realize, shit, I don't deal any damage, what the fuck? And that's the whole idea of Ambessa. Ambessa's power comes from mastering her abilities and most importantly, her passive. It's not like Lux's ultimate that you can just shoot somewhere and hope for the best. No, you really have to master her playstyle to be useful. You don't deal a lot of damage, but you do have tons of dashes. This is actually a very similar playstyle to something like Lillia, which you guys know I'm a master at, of course. Inherently, your champion doesn't really deal crazy damage, but you have to space out the enemies to make good use of your passive. Same idea with Ambessa. But Dums, isn't she super annoying to play against? All those dashes and damage would make it annoying, right? At first, yes, it can be annoying to play against her, but when you know how her kit works and how crucial her energy bar is for her, you realize that playing against Ambessa feels kinda rewarding. When you play against Ambessa, you really have to play against not her, but her energy bar. If Ambessa jumps on you with most of her abilities and you, for example, flash away, she's kinda like a sitting duck. She can't do anything. She can't auto, she can't jump, she can't use abilities, she can't do anything. And when you know all of this, I don't think it's actually annoying at all to play against her. I would even say it's more annoying to play against something like Gragas, who has like Gragas has hard CC out the wazoo, and damage out the wazoo, abilities out the wazoo. With Ambessa, she has no hard CC. Every time you fight against her, it is pretty much a skill matchup. And I think here is what makes Ambessa's design really good. Her kit is extremely fun. She is probably one of the most fun champions League has released in years. She has a high learning curve, but is extremely rewarding when you learn her. She has tons of mobility, but only if she gets to be on top of her target. Her engage and disengage are limited due to her energy bar, and it also feels rewarding to outplay her. Everything in her kit is intentional, so it feels rewarding to play her and play against her. Not like Akshan, who has random numbers and stats on some of his abilities. The writers who worked on her did an amazing job. Yes, I am indeed glazing right over here, okay? I just want to have something cool in the game again. And I also want everybody who watches this video and thinks Ambessa is just another broken 200 years champion to try her out on BBE or when she goes live and come back to this video. Because let me tell you, the first time you play her, you will get your ass handed to you. It can even feel a bit underwhelming because, as I said, you don't really deal a lot of damage. You just dash a lot and play around your passive. The only negative that I think she will have is that she might have an incredibly low win rate at the start, which might maybe fuck up some of the buffing, nerfing later on in the patches, because she is an extremely hard champion, and I think lower elo players might have an extremely hard time with her at the start. I also think she will be a very niche champion as well, because of her design and the fact that you kinda have to master her to utilize her kit correctly. But I think we need those champions in League, like Yasuo, Riven or Zed, because it makes the game cool as fuck, and it can create for some cool moments in the games. And I think a lot of people actually agree with my statement. I think this is cool as fuck. I hate to be that person, but this looks like visually fairly clear. It's not that hard to tell what both champs are doing once you actually learn what they do, and that's what really matters. Nothing is deceptive to how it works. After playing a bunch of games with Ambessa, I can safely say this champion feels incredibly rewarding. When Riot gives your champion more tools in kit, it gives you more opportunities to shoot yourself in the foot, and I think this champion is a perfect example of that. Very fun. I don't care at all about what y'all think about her, she looks so fun, I'm 100% playing her on the spot. I love this, I'm so happy Riot decided to make this champion. I think I saw a clip of Riot August talking about how Zed and Riven would have never been made in today's league, and it made me incredibly sad. I hope they will make more like this in the future, regardless of people crying. And I actually want to ask you guys for your own personal opinions on Ambessa. Is she balanced? Is she broken? What do you guys think? Please let me know down in the comments below. And let's be honest. Would you rather have 100 Ambessa-like champions in League or 100 Nasus-like champions in League? Man, League would be a very boring game if it was 100 Nasuses.